Rajasthan marked the end of elections in 5 states. Results will be announced on the 11th of December. But before that, a host of agencies have put out exit polls. Now, exit polls predict trends of what the results could throw up based on a minuscule sample size. But as of now, it's the closest prediction to what we could see next Tuesday that is based on data. So here are some of the highlights and the overall picture that is emerging. Now, we have picked 5 sets of polls specifically, and on the basis of that, it shows a Congress win in 2 of the 5 states that have gone to elections, which is Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, Mizoram and Telangana. There's a neck-and-neck fight in the state of Chhattisgarh as per these polls. It also shows that the BJP is likely to face a setback in the Hindi heartland. And if we're talking about the big 3, the Hindi-speaking states of Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh and Rajasthan, the Congress is in a position to win 2 of 3 states as per exit polls and their predictions that we have in front of us today. So with all those caveats in place, let's start our discussion. I have joining me today, of course, Sanjay Pugalia, editorial director of Quintilion Media. And we'll also be talking with Amitabh Tewari, political commentator, on what they make of the numbers. But let me come to Sanjay first. Sanjay, do you agree with the overall picture as we panned out? Because in the middle of all of these numbers, I think it's important to tell people what these numbers actually mean.
Tamanna, actually, these exit polls haven't left us any wiser. The kind of scenario and predictions we were making before the exit poll, we are at the same place. Nobody doubted that Rajasthan will go Congress way. So exit polls confirmed that. In Madhya Pradesh, there is a small change. Earlier, we used to say that it is a neck-to-neck state. Fight is very tough, very keen contest, but BJP is ahead. The only change is, and which is significant change, that exit polls are suggesting now that Congress has an edge. Congress may get a majority. And the data that is most startling is 9% swing away from BJP to Congress. If it is such a swing, then one can predict that BJP will lose Madhya Pradesh majorly. So as you rightly began by saying that in Hindi heartland, in North India, BJP is facing a serious challenge going by the exit poll numbers. Now one can argue that it is about the anti-incumbency of the 15-year-old chief ministers vis-a-vis, please do not try to conclude anything about 2019 election. Yeah, that's a good argument to have. We can talk about it later.
Absolutely. Let's go over those Madhya Pradesh numbers just a little bit more before I come to Amitabh Tewari and the 5 polls that we've selected. So out of these, C voter shows the Congress ahead with 118 seats. Jan Ki Baat has shown the BJP ahead with 108 to 128 seats. But Access My India is also showing a slight lead to the Congress with a range of 104 to 122. Lokniti CSDS is showing 126 seats for the Congress. Access My India has also put out vote shares in which they show a 1% higher vote share for the Congress. So 3 wins, 1 close fight, and 1 clear win for the BJP. If you look at these 5, of course, the average is in front of you. Amitabh, are you surprised with the numbers in Madhya Pradesh? And here, of course, the standard disclosure we always make. Amitabh Tewari is a political commentator, but he is also a consultant to a number of politicians, some of them in Madhya Pradesh and some of them from the BJP. Amitabh, a surprise there?
No, I'm not surprised at the numbers. If you look at the numbers yourselves, your average is 109 for BJP and 110 for Congress. So even your numbers do not say that BJP is out of the picture as we are probably trying to conclude. See, the elections this time was a waveless election. There was no clear winner on the ground. And after 15 years, BJP, or rather Congress, realized that it is the opportune time to do a ghar wapsi. And that's how the leaders came together and this showed some sort of unity. See, exit polls generally are a barometer, better barometer than opinion polls, and they do indicate the trend. But from the poll of polls, and these are 4 or 5 of the reputed polling agencies, there is a hung verdict in the exit poll itself. So it is very early to make any conclusion. We'll all have to wait for the 11th and see what the actual results are. In my opinion, MP will surprise political analysts and pundits.
No, everyone is going to be surprised because all predictions are different. I know we'll wait for the 11th, Amitabh. This is what I usually hear from politicians. They don't expect to hear from you. Of course, we're going to wait for the 11th. Of course, exit polls are not something you can depend on. I'm not even talking too much of the poll of polls because we've picked 5. That's an average. This is an average of an average. So statistically, you know, it's a showcase number. Let me put it that way. But let me come from the position that Shivraj Singh Chauhan is the tallest leader in the state. He couldn't have been seen to put a foot wrong even 3 or 4 months, or even 2 months ago. Today, we're sitting in a position, on the other hand, the Congress can't get its house in order. That was the situation. Today, we're seeing at a likelihood of the BJP losing Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh. That is a surprise, isn't it?
No, but Rajasthan is not a surprise at all because it always follows the trend of throwing out the incumbent governments. And on MP, I still maintain my position, and I have visited the state and worked there, as you made the disclosure. BJP under Shivraj Singh Chauhan is likely to win the state, and people will be surprised on the day when the results come out, even after 15 years of rule.
You know,
because I didn't see this sort of.
No, I mean, fair enough.
Kind of on the ground.
Honestly, I don't think anyone is in a position to predict what happens and know what every voter has thought of. That is going to be impossible to do. Having said that, the other surprise is, Sanjay, the state of Chhattisgarh. Similar position to MP, 3-term chief minister. You know, then you had this whole JCC, BSP situation there, and the polls are showing a very neck-to-neck fight. No clear face from the Congress here either, but it could seem like Raman Singh will pull through.
Yeah, looks like. So again, because it is a small assembly, all pollsters are being extremely cautious in making a clear prediction, and they are showing currently, as opinion polls were suggesting, that Raman Singh, BJP, they have an edge. But again, here I will refer only one point, and I totally agree with Amitabh that we are only trying to understand the direction and maybe the swing factor, because on seats, exit polls can entirely go wrong, and these days exit polls have been going wrong majorly. We have seen that. But because there is a new data point, so we are trying to make sense of it. In Chhattisgarh also, CSDS Lokniti suggests a serious swing away from BJP. CSDS Lokniti survey is not an exit poll. It is an post-poll opinion poll, which is a kind of a very detailed, extensive poll. So generally, they have been proved quite right compared to others when it comes to looking at vote share. So if there is a serious swing of 8–9% of votes from BJP, then it logically leads to the conclusion that Chhattisgarh could also be in danger. But I totally agree that Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh, despite these exit polls, are too close to call, despite showing a great swing.
You know, in fact,
swing away from me.
What you mentioned about CSDS is interesting because in Chhattisgarh, the CSDS poll shows a clear win for the BJP with 52 seats, the Congress at 35. In fact, they are projecting, a comfortable situation in the state of Chhattisgarh. The other one, the others all are looking at a close contest over here. Axis My India is the one which is showing a clear win for the Congress. One thing is clear though from most of these polls, and here a quick word on what Amit Jogi and Mayawati's combination was trying to do. The only place where they have some kind of role is in one of those 5 polls, and of course if you take the average where they play kingmaker or some kind of a big role in the event of a hung assembly, and that figure comes up with the averages. Amitabh, just the question of Ajit Jogi, would they have harmed the prospects of the Congress as it was predicted and maybe help push Raman Singh to a comfortable fourth term?
See, I have always maintained that Chhattisgarh is a closer election than MP. And I have been there as well, and I have been working with some people there as well. Ajit Jogi factor, it is very simplistic to assume that he will damage the Congress because he comes from the Congress. But what people don't realize is that he has a ST as well as a SC support. And the SC seats are with BJP, whereas the ST seats in 2013 were with Congress. And most of the times these seats change hands. The only thing which is damaging Ajit Jogi is that he has been in Congress for too long, as in very long, and his symbol has not percolated down to the people. So what you are seeing in surveys is that he is the second most favored candidate for CM, but his party was not winning many seats because people still recognize him as a Congress leader and are going to vote for Congress. So actually this factor is actually working for Congress. How many voters are such voters of Jogi? That is a big question mark. So CG is close, always has been close, and we'll have to just wait till the last vote is counted there, because 10-20 votes per booth can change the direction of the polls there.
You know, it's interesting you say that, because yesterday I had the opportunity of speaking with Ajit Jogi and he said the same thing. He said, as a politician, I should say that I'm winning, but in this situation, I will not hazard a guess. At all. Nobody should, because it's a completely new situation. Let's come to the state of Rajasthan, which was seen as a sealed deal, but in the last week or so, I think, there was a lot of chatter about how the BJP has managed to pull it back from the brink. Prime Minister Modi did a number of rallies there. There were factors of rebel candidates. And quickly, let's just look at that chart we've put up of the average of 5, the poll of polls and what Rajasthan is showing. Of course, most are predicting a Congress win in Rajasthan. Actually, 199 seats polled, not 200. But out of those, most show a Congress win for the state of Rajasthan. CNX says Congress is winning, so does C Voter. Access My India is showing a clear Congress win. CSDS is showing a close fight for the Congress. BJP is at 83. Congress is, crossing the halfway mark, but there are 15 seats going to others. Meanwhile, Jan Ki Baat also shows a neck-and-neck fight for both the BJP and the Congress. Here, Sanjay, just a point on all of this buzz that it was going to be a really close fight, and at the end of the day, the BJP is pulling back. So even if they do lose, not as badly as they were expected to.
I agree. I mean, BJP works very hard when it comes to election. They try to deliver a perfect electioneering compared to other opposition parties. They, even though there are public votes available for them to vote, their outreach, their technology use, their campaigning, their resources, everything they lack. And sometimes what you see could be the mood of people doesn't get converted into the actual electoral outcome. So yeah, BJP might have recovered because of sheer energetic campaigning by Mr. Modi and Mr. Amit Shah and their chief ministers.
Amitabh, just your point on Rajasthan, even if the Congress does win it, it's going to be one of those things where you say, yeah, this was expected. What's the big deal?
Yeah, because, I mean, the government changes hand every 5 years there. So it's not a big deal. If BJP wins, then it will be a big news. See, where people got wrong was that they thought BJP got 165 last time. So Congress will also get 150 seats or sorts. That is what the initial opinion polls suggested. But Congress has never got 150 seats there. It just won 150 seats long back. I don't recollect the exact year. So and even if you see 2008, in 2008, the trend was tested. Congress did not get majority on its own, and it had to take the support of BSP MLAs to form the government. This time also, I believe there will be a close contest. It could be 120, 80, 110, 90, and not the 150, 50 types which people were predicting earlier. because of the women factor, because the women are solidly behind Rajay there, I feel, and the Modi factor is the strongest across the 5 states there.
Well, in that case, you know, if they've not managed to pull back Rajasthan, then that would be a different equation altogether. Amit Jain is writing in, he's watching the show live and he says, I'm more interested in Telangana. Okay, Mr. Jain, we hear you. Let's move to Telangana. And Telangana I found the most interesting of the lot because, you know, when KCR decided to suspend his assembly 9 months in advance, people knew he was taking a risk. And it was believed that, you know, that risk may pay off. But then all of a sudden, out of the blue, you had the Congress and the TDP, you know, joining hands. They joined up with another local party, the TJS, the CPI. And suddenly all of that talk of, you know, we'll win Telangana with 100 seats kind of disappeared. We'll just get those figures up for you in a second. But before that, Sanjay, broadly on Telangana, I'll give you the quick headlines. Most show, and here we picked 4, CSDS Lokniti has not polled in Telangana. Of the 4, most show, all of them in fact show, 3 or 4 show TRS up ahead with a strong margin. There's a close call in one of those 4 polls. So it shows that despite, you know, the premise of the state of Telangana already being formed, you know, whether arithmetically TDP plus Congress was seeming stronger, but KCR might just pull through.
Yeah, so KCR may just scrape through. So his initial calculation that by calling the elections early, he will come easily, it will be a cakewalk. It may not be the cakewalk going by some exit polls. Some exit polls are giving him 80, 90 seats, 70, 80 seats still. But some are giving 56, 66. Yeah. So maybe he will just scrape through, which was the general prediction that he will save his state. Telangana should also be watched for the performance of Congress party and Telugu Desam, whether this alliance performs well, even if they don't win, if they are in a position to consolidate anti-KCR votes in Telangana, that gives you some sense about Telangana and Andhra, and a position which has been in a great disarray, where Naidu and Congress, they have been traditional rivals joining hands. So this Telangana outcome will be watched more for the possible shape of opposition in future after this election. And do remember, if KCR does well, he has already told us that he will be immediately going to Delhi to announce his plan to work for a new front. No Congress, no BJP, another front. That space has to be watched.
Just your overall comments, Amitabh, on what we're seeing so far. Telangana, of course, they're in the picture, but even those 3 states of Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, about 65 Lok Sabha seats among them. It would be a headache for the BJP if they lose 2 out of 3.
Yeah, I mean, if they have 62 out of 65, so anyways, I mean, it'll be a challenge to win those 62 seats back again. On Telangana, I have a point. I mean, I always maintain that it is a very close election. People take the starting point as 90 MLAs for TRS, but 27 MLAs merged with him or joined him.
Yeah.
Those MLAs, the entire party, Congress, TDP, is after them so that at least they lose. And 63 seats, he just scraped through at the height of Telangana movement, when he was credited with the formation of Telangana. Now, all that is past. I will not be surprised if Mahakutumi wins the elections in Telangana.
Most exit polls today are... And
on the Mahakutumi...
Yeah. You know, so again, let's look at that. See, voter shows a very close fight there. You know, so Telangana is also too close to call, but largely, if you see the average, TRS is once again scraping through with 65 out of 119. BJP, if they get 5, you know, one has to also assume MIM and BJP in the larger picture would rather back KCR than back Chandrababu Naidu and a Congress combination. So in that sense, you know, KCR seems safe as of today, again, with all of those caveats that these are exit polls, we don't have the numbers yet. This is just a shot in the dark with a little more data than most people usually have. Let's see. It's a close contest. One thing is for sure. Counting day is going to be even more exciting than was imagined before. So definitely stay tuned to Bloomberg Quint. Read all of our stories as well on BloombergQuint.com. Check out our new election page as well and tell us what you think. Thank you so much, Amitabh Tewari and Sanjay Pugalia, for your time. We'll see all of you soon with more on Counting Day.